We have a really important one here for you guys, and then we will get into the cold calling part of today. But I think that you guys are really going to appreciate this. This is a little bit of a different lesson than what we've typically done in previous live streams. I just kind of thought back to when I was starting this whole endeavor myself, and one point that I've constantly overlooked is the sales skills. Some of these things just might seem easy to me because, I spent a lot of my life in sales, and I was kind of naive to overlook that does have an impact, and that has a large impact for people. And so I wanted to put myself in your guys' shoes to ultimately give you the insight that I wish that I had when I was first starting. That little bit that is the differentiator between starting and having a little bit of success to starting and having massive success. So guys, let's get right into it here. So I think that you guys are really, really going to enjoy this, because every single negotiation that you've lost, every time that somebody has talked you into something, every sale that you didn't close, every argument that you lost was with somebody who wasn't smarter than you. There was a reason. The other person understood something about our brains that we did not at the time. And 2 books figured this out. One guy went undercover inside car dealerships to cult recruitment meetings and even like telemarketer boiler rooms. The other one spent 24 years negotiating with kidnappers and terrorists on the behalf of the FBI. Between them, they mapped out how humans make decisions and how those decisions move you in the direction of life when everybody else just seems to be pushed in a certain direction of life. Now, I'm going to spend today giving you guys the highest value takeaways, not summaries, stuff that you guys can actually use before the week's over. So the 2 books, starting with number 1, Influence. This is by Robert Cialdini. He's a psychology professor. He spent 3 years infiltrating professions built on persuasion. Think about car salesmen, car lots, door-to-door salespeople, fundraising organizations. He was posing as a trainee. This book was published in 1984, over 5 million copies sold. 6 principles here. And I'm going to give you the 4 with the biggest ROI for your actual life, things that you guys can actually apply here. So number 1 is going to be the concept of reciprocity. This is what we call the invisible debt. And write this down. So in 1970, if you guys have ever heard of the Hare Krishnas, they were everywhere. In airports, every street corner, tourist spots, city centers, they were losing their battle. Nobody wanted to talk to them. Donations for them were in the toilet. Then somebody had the bright idea. Before you ask for anything, hand somebody a flower. Put a smile on their face. Put it in their hand. Say it's a gift. Overnight for them, donations exploded. Researchers watched people walked away, annoyed from this whole interaction, throw the flower in the trash, and still donate. For whatever reason, their brain created a debt. It was not a choice. It was a firmware reaction. You give something, I owe you something, period. So think about what that looks like in real life. You want something from anybody. You always start by giving first. It doesn't have to be a gift. You can give attention. You can give a genuine compliment. Useful information. Ask about them before you talk with them. The size of it barely even matters. It's all about how it lands with them. See, think about this concept. A waiter brings over 1 mint. They walk away. They turn back around and they say, you know what? Actually, you guys were a terrific group, and they hand them an extra. Tips jump 23%. Same mint, different delivery. This time it feels personal. In that same situation, the waiter walks away another time and says, actually, you know what? Hands them a handful of mints. Tips went up 50%. It feels personalized it there, guys. So number one is give first, personalize it, and the size does not matter. Size does not matter. And write this down, guys. Let's say that you want to raise. You spend 2 weeks making your boss's life easier. Then you have the conversation. Then you have the conversation with them, okay? The debt is already there. You've created it. You're not asking for a favor now. You're collecting on one of them. So number 2, guys, this is the second principle here, and it might be the most dangerous one in this entire book here. So it's going to be commitment and consistency. This is what we call the identity lock. So write this down. Number 2, commitment and consistency. That's what we call an identity lock. Friedman and Fraser, I think it was the year 1966, researchers asked homeowners to put a giant ugly, like one of those giant ugly billboard signs on their lawn. 83% of them said, hell no, that's ridiculous. But a second group of researchers, went out 2 weeks earlier and asked them to say, hey, can you guys put up this small petition sign or put, a tiny sticker on your window? Almost every single homeowner said sure. 2 weeks later, the billboard request came and 76% said yes this time. Let that sit. Same ugly sign, but their brain filed them as, I'm the person that cares about driver safety. One, the identity locks in. They act in the consistency. Even when the ask is completely absurd. This is why every single good salesperson starts small. Can I just get your email, your phone number? They're not after just your email or your phone number. They're after the identity shift. Once you say yes to anything, you move from I'm not interested in this situation to I'm considering it. Your brain does the rest. You want your kid to clear out their room. You don't ask them to clean their room. Ask them to, hey, can you put, the 2 extra dishes that you have away in your room? Now, their identity has shifted. There's somebody who cleans up their room. You want a client to sign a big contract, get them to agree to a free trial first. So you never start with the big ask, guys. You start with the small sticker on the window here. Write that down. Never start with the big ask. You don't want somebody to sign up for your mega offer first. You want them to start with just the sticker. Now, guys, the third principle here, equally as important as the first 2. This one is going to run your life more than you want to admit. And this is what we like to consider social proof. This is the herd instinct here. So write that down. Social proof. The herd mentality. Herd instinct. Think about this tip jar study. When the tip jar was empty, nobody tipped. But when they put a few bills in it, the tips skyrocket. It's the same product, whether it be, let's say, it's coffee. So it's the same coffee. It's the same barista. But when people see other people doing something, their brain says, oh, that must be the right thing to do there. So there was a situation with this hotel brand. The hotel towel sign said that 75% of guests in this room decided to reuse the towels. It beat out the sign that said, please help save the environment. Because the idea was that people like me did this. And that is stronger than the suggestion that you should do this. Does that make sense, guys? See, when bartenders put money in their tip jars, when restaurants sit there and they fake wait times, when they book up all of the stuff on Resi, so there's only 3 available tables for you, when commercials say, we're standing by for calls, not call now, it implies that there's a ton of volume there. It implies that other people are calling. This offer must be good. So write this down, guys. People follow people. Show them that others have made the same decision. So people follow people. Show them that others have made this decision. You never want to be the first. So, how do you actually use these techniques? You reference people who already did it. So you would say something like, a lot of other people in your situation actually, go in this direction. 3 other homeowners on your street sold this year. You're showing them the path. Now, we move over to the 4th principle. And this is the last one out of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. And it's scarcity. Okay, guys? Loss beats gain. So think about that. Scarcity. Loss beats gain. And this is honestly the one that most people get wrong. It's not about saying something like, hey, this is a limited time offer. The deeper principle here is that people are motivated by losing something more than they are by gaining something of equal value. Okay? Losing $100 hurts twice as much as gaining $100. Gamblers especially know that feeling. So stop telling them what they'll gain. Tell them what they'll lose. If you list traditionally, you're looking at 4 to 6 months mortgage, taxes, and insurance, that hits harder than, we close fast. It's the same info, but we're framing it differently, guys. We don't want to sell the gain. We want to sell the cost of doing nothing. Write that down. Sell the cost of doing nothing. Like if you don't negotiate your salary, you're leaving $5,000 to $15,000 a year on the table for the rest of your career. That phrase gets somebody to move. Not the phrase you could earn more. Think about it. The big difference between thinking and actually moving is the cost of doing nothing there. So now I want to move on from Robert's books here. And this is a book that you guys have probably heard about as well. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. And we're going to give him a different color here. Never Split the Difference. So if the first book by Robert gave you the science behind why people say yes, this guy, Chris, and Never Split the Difference, it gives you the exact words to say to people. So Chris Voss, you guys have probably seen him all over TikTok. He spent 24 years in the FBI. He was the lead international kidnapping negotiator. He worked in the Philippines, Haiti, Colombia. His thesis was that everything that you were taught about negotiation was fundamentally wrong. Tradition says find the middle ground. Voss says that is how you guys completely lose. Somebody asks for $1 million. You offer zero. You split the difference. You paid 500K to somebody who didn't deserve a single dollar there. The middle is essentially just the middle ground. His approach is that it's not about logic or leverage. It's about emotions. Humans make decisions emotionally and justify them logically after the fact. Change how they feel fundamentally. So let me show you guys how that looks like. So number one here, let's think about tactical empathy and labeling. This is Voss's number one tool. Tactical labeling. Oh, this is going to be Voss's number one tool, guys. Not, hey, I feel your pain. Tactical empathy is identifying what somebody is feeling and calling it out specifically by name. So there's a situation. He's on the phone with a guy barricaded with hostages. The guy is screaming at him. He doesn't argue. He doesn't reason with him or threaten him. He calms him down in a slow voice. It sounded like you've been treated unfairly, and you feel like nobody's been listening to you so far. The guy running this whole hostage situation says, yeah, that's right. Those two words, that's right. Those are the most powerful words in negotiation. Not you're right. That's right. Your right means like I'm dismissing you. That's right means you understand me. Once somebody feels understood in a situation, they completely just put their hands up and they stop fighting. This technique is what we call labeling. You sit there and it sounded like. You don't even have to be right in the situation. If you're wrong, they're going to step in and they're going to correct you. Now they're going to be explaining their feelings to you voluntarily. Either way, in that situation, you're just going to completely win there. So I want you guys to jot that down as well. It seems like and it feels like. And the biggest thing fundamentally right there is that they will ultimately correct you if you say something that does not align with them. See, this will work with your wife, with your boss, your kids. Hey, babe, it seems like you're stressed about money. They will completely soften because they feel seen. You didn't even have to fix anything. You proved to them in that situation that you see them. That's worth more than any solution that you can provide. Now, the next thing that I want you guys to think about is the power of no here. Now, this is a counterintuitive one, but the power of no. This might change how you guys start every single conversation going forward. Stop trying to get somebody to a yes. Yes is an early fake. Think about it. Get this person off my back at this moment. Yes. It means nothing. The person feels trapped. They're just giving you that immediate yes. No is a path to freedom. No is like a protected word. It's in control. It's safe. A safe person keeps talking and eventually will get you all the way down to a real yes there. So ask questions that are ultimately going to be designed for no. Is it a bad time? Not, hey, is now a good time? Think about it. Have you given up on finding a solution? Not, do you want to resolve this? Is it a bad time? No, it's fine. Now they've volunteered in that situation to continue. So design for no. Design everything in your speech and in your language for no. A safe no beats a trapped yes every single time. Now for the next principle, guys, which is called the accusation audit. This is the last one out of Chris Voss here. And this is probably my favorite. It's one that you guys might even use intuitively without ever even knowing that you're actually doing it. But it's the accusation audit. So before somebody brings up their objection, you decide to bring it up. You list every negative thing that you might even think about out loud first to them. You know, for example, you probably think that I'm wasting your time. You know, this sounds too good to be true. You're probably wondering what the catch is. You're bringing up your objections first. When you say it first, they can't use it against you. You took away their ammo. Instead of confirming their fears, they sit there and they push back and they say, no, I don't think that you're wasting my time. They're going to defend you to themselves. It's bizarre, but every single time that it's going to work. So you want to say the worst thing to them that they're thinking in their head before they actually say it out loud. So jot that down. Say the worst to them before they say it out loud. So think about this situation, a job interview. You know, you sit there and you say something like, I know I don't have as much experience in this situation, and you might be wondering if I can actually handle this workload. Now, the interviewer, their brain is going to flip and start thinking of situations where you actually can handle the workload. Now, let's say that you're selling something and you can feel that the buyer has some sort of skepticism here. You call it out. You would say something like, you're probably just thinking that this is just another sales pitch. Now they're going to step back and they're going to relax. You said the thing that every other salesperson is going to pretend that just isn't there. The honesty is going to get you more buys than any other pitch. Now, here's why I'm telling you guys all this. I don't just study this stuff. We use it every single day because I text complete strangers for a living. My entire business is sending a message to somebody that I've never even met before to get them to talk about selling their property to me. A cold text, a stranger. No reason whatsoever to trust me. So let me show you guys this actual message here. So the exact word for word message here is, hey, my name is X. Saw XYZ property. Would you be open to talking numbers? If not, just say no thanks. That's literally it, word for word here. So let's break this down. So number one is going to be, and I'm going to think of how I can improve this right now, because I left out one of my favorite lines here. It's that I would be interested in this personally. And this is where we are going to add that in. I'm interested personally. When you change that, you're linking it. You're linking it not to a company, not to a corporation, but to a person. It's going to ultimately minimize it and change the entire feel. Now, when we look at the phrase, if not, no thanks, it's totally calibrated directly from Chris Voss. We stole that. It's the permission to reject you. Half of the people will start with no thanks in their text, and then they'll tell the entire situation like, hey, no thanks. I just inherited this property. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. Boom. They just laid it all out there for us because they felt safe in that situation. And then if we look at, would you be open to talking numbers? That's commitment, not asking them to sell. It's asking the smallest question. Are you just open to it? Are you open to the idea? That's the sticker situation. Not going in their yard and putting a giant billboard. This text, ultimately it works for us. We get responses, but based on everything that we just ultimately went over, could we make it better? Yeah, we could. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it live. So number one, guys, is going to be, where is the reciprocity? We're always in this situation leading exactly with what we want. What are we going to get out of this situation? What if we led about something about them first? Acknowledge their situation. Create the invisible debt before we even ask about anything. And so where you could actually do this is with those government lists. When you're actually filtering through properties that fit the demographic that we should be texting, not in the mass text blasts when we're just looking for land or homes, but instead when we're actually going after government lists, probates, people that inherited their homes. Like, hey, I know that this might be happening to you. Would you be open to selling? Hey, I know this. Would you be doing this? Acknowledge their situation. Create that invisible debt before we ask. We didn't do that, could we? We probably should. Now, the next step was, where is the social proof in anything that we just wrote out there? We didn't use any, and maybe we should have. We could have said something like, a few homeowners in your area have taken us up on our offer, or a few homeowners in the area have been exploring offers. Now they start to think that they aren't the only one. The herd is moving. The herd mentality is taking effect. And then, where is the loss frame that we positioned to them? We didn't. What kind of loss are those people sitting on? Especially for land, it's taxes. Their property is just sitting there and they're just accruing taxes every single year, and they're not making any money. They're not living in it. They're not doing anything with it. And they're getting taxed every single year. Money gone. So the problem is, and why we can't actually incorporate all of these different elements into the text, is that it needs to stay with under 160 characters. We can't fix every single thing. So we have to pick our spots. Test the reciprocity on one version. Test the lost frame on the next. And the whole idea here is that you're not guessing. You know why the words work, and you're going to test them. But here's what people miss. The text is not the sale. It's not even the close. All the text does is get you to one step closer to booking the appointment, to get them on the phone. And that's where the rest of this all kicks in. See, on the call, you can say something like, it sounds like this property has been a headache for you for a while. That would crush for Zillow Fizbos. That is that tactical empathy. You're think about this. You're probably thinking that I'm just another investor trying to lowball you. You guys have heard me say that live before. That is that accusation audit. The full toolkit is there, guys. The text opens the door. The phone call walks you through it. Every single principle from these two books is built for that exact process. So this is day 12 of my challenge, guys, the 0 to 10K a month on camera. We're going to send the text out today, built on exactly what I just went over for you guys. If you want to grab these two books, they're like $35. I've read them personally. We are going to be giving one away to one person who stays till the end of the stream. This is the entire model, guys. If it's your first time here, like, subscribe. We go live every single Monday through Friday at 5:30. You can come watch me use these real principles in real time, real text, real sellers, real calls. And I'm the founder of PowerSell. It is free to start. You can use code DealMachine, PowerSell. All the links are in all my descriptions, guys. And for those of us live on this live stream, today is day 12. We're going directly into our cold calls. Let's go. All right, guys. We're going right into it. We have texts loaded out, ready to go. Before we move on, I want to know, does anybody have any questions about the principles that we just went over? These are two books that I've read pretty much, and practiced the principles for the last 4 to 5 years. And I want to know what you guys have to say about them, what you guys actually think about these. Give me an idea here. Do any of you guys even have these books? Have you ever even seen them before? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. And that's really the beautiful thing about all this, is that, today could be the first day where you actually pick this book up and it changes the whole way that you see everything. But we're going to go right into it, guys. We have texts loaded up for us. People should already be answering. And let's see what we can make happen here. Let's see, guys. Anybody ever read these books before? We're going to go right into it. Everything loaded up here. Ready to go. Boom. Let's see. How many texts do you guys think I already got back here today? How many? Alrighty. Here we go. Right. All right, now you guys should be with me here. You guys can see this good? Let's see how many combos we got loaded up today. We got a few right out of the gate here. Let's just do a double check here. I want to make sure that we're not doxing anybody's info. Let's see. Cool, we're not doxing anybody's information this time. Beautiful. All right, we're going to get right into it, guys. I have, let's see, how are you? Yeah, send me an offer. All right, we'll see about this guy right here. I got send an offer over. We're going to get right into it, guys. And I love interaction. Go ahead, guys. If you're with me right now, put a 1 in the chat, guys. If you are with me right now, put a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure that I'm doing whatever I can to provide you guys value right now. So if you're with me, put a 1 in the chat. Let's go, guys. Thanks for joining. We're going to get right into it. Send me an offer. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can look on that view. That's cool. Cool. All right, guys, we're going to get active. Yes, it's for sale. It has electric to it, paved road, and HOA. We had plans to build $5,000 square foot and a shop on it, but I didn't want to be that far away from the kids. I won't take less than this for it. All right. Let's see what we're dealing with here. We're going to go to deal machine first, guys. I don't want to be wasting my time with people that are not good deals. So I'm taking it over to our deal machine. We're going to see what this property is actually looking like it's worth. Who's working alongside me right now, guys? Who else is out there grinding today? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys are out there grinding. Every day is a grind. All right, we got a handful of good responses right now. I just need to see where. All right, let's see what we're dealing with here. I'm looking at a property here in South Carolina. What's 85 grand for it? That might be a. It's looking like we're super far. Yeah, I'm thinking that we're like way far. Let's just see if this guy. No. So I'm trying to pin it, guys, for this guy that he just owns a plot here in South Carolina. It's a pretty big ass piece of land, and we're trying to figure out if this is going to be a good fit for us. Price is a little outrageous. Got another wild text. I'm going to have to go to Associated Properties to get the actual pin for this. Alrighty. Where's everybody else at on their 0 to 10K challenge here? How's everybody else doing? Find all of these related properties here. All right. They're saying that the property that this guy has is 180 racks. I'm just like having a hard time believing that. Like I cannot wrap my mind around it being 180,000 bucks. Like there's just simply no way. All right, we're going to jump into a call here. We'll jump right into a call. I want to double check my stuff here. Let's see here. All right, let's give this lady a call. See what we can make happen.
Your call.
Come on, Candace, answer the phone, ma'am. Let's go. Gonna make some money. Candace, don't leave us hanging.
Your call has been.
All right, now we got to go back to it. Just tried ringing you. All right, we're going to call somebody else. This might be a clip, guys. This person could clown me.
Hey, you reached Ezra. Please leave me a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
All right. Nobody's answering. Let's see. For 68,000, it's free of taxes, paid 54. Is what's required to answer any questions, please. Okay, let's see what I can make happen. This might be a good one too. So right now, guys, we have had 4 people respond saying that they're open to it. 40K with a membership to club. Okay, this might be a good deal too. Who else is sending text blasts right now? I'm telling you, this is the hack. This is like the freaking hack, guys. Let's see what we're working with here. I know some of you guys are sending text blasts out. All right, so this is a place that's on a golf course here. It looks like none of these have been developed. Which I mean, it's not crazy, but all right, 712,000 here. Guys, like just so you get a good idea when it comes to land and you're looking at how to see if a price is like in a decent range when it comes to land, I always click on nearby homes like new builds to see what the value, like I want to get the ARV of those properties, and I usually like to stay at 10% to ARV for land. That allows us to bake in a little bit of margin. Some home builders will go up to 20%, but that's not always going to be the case there. So like I'm having trouble selling one that we have at 5%. Like people are giving me a hard time trying to buy it at 5. And we're just trying to make do with what we got. But yeah, I'm looking at this property here in Travelers Rest, South Carolina. It's on a golf course. But for whatever reason here, I'm thinking that this community is just not, I'm trying to figure out why this community is not building out. No idea why. But we're about to find out. Does anybody have a lead that they want me to call live as well? You guys have a lead that you want me to call live for you? I will call them live. Even if you have a deal that you want me to call live for you, I will. That could be fun. We're not getting a whole lot of answers right now. Pave Road HOA. All right, saying that this property was bought for 9,000, it was sold to them for 32,000. What the hell? 25,000, 40 days on market, 70,000. 25,000, 25,000, 25,000. Look at this one that's listed for 126,000. Seems insane. If you guys have a lead or somebody that you want me to call for you live, you keep credit for it. I will do it live for you guys. You just got to send me a DM to @cj.tassone, and I'll call them for you. This piece of shit is selling for $149,000. 3.9 acre lot, 149K. How big is the one that my guy has? And if you guys do, just tell me, send it in the chat here, and I'll take a peek at it. All right, how big is this bad boy? 1 acre. He wants 40,000 for it. 1 acre at 40K. All right, I'm gonna shoot him a text. I'll give him a call. Actually, well, I got you guys on the stream. I gotta give him a call. We gotta be talking to some people. Otherwise, you guys are gonna go to bed.
Hello, this is Scott. I'm sorry I'm away from the phone. Please leave a message and I'll return a call as soon as possible. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey Scott, this is just CJ. Actually, good buddies with Anthony. We were actually the ones texting you to see if we could potentially buy the Foxborough Road property. We'd be looking to potentially develop it. I saw that the membership was attached to it. I mean, I hope if we're potentially looking at buying it, we're not like kicking you off your golf membership. So I'd love to get a little bit more information about it. If you would, just give me a call back at this number and we can talk about it in a little bit more detail. Thanks. All right, let's call this guy. Am I going to get trolled? People that usually just send their phone number in are like about to troll you hard. Hey, Benji? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how are you? This is just CJ. I thought I was texting you for a minute. I guess I may have been texting your spouse or somebody. I was interested in buying the land that you have in Yemassee. She said you might be interested in hearing me out. Is that a possibility?
What land are you referring to in Yamassee?
I guess it was a plot of land. I didn't have the APN. Well, I can look it back up in my files. I just got the response, and I wanted to jump on it immediately just to kind of introduce myself. But I'd be looking to buy it. Do you have like, does it ring a bell, the Yemassee plot?
It does ring a plot. Can you do your due diligence and then give me a call back once you look up and make sure it's something that you'd like to purchase?
Yeah. Would you just give me a little bit more information on it so I can go back and do that as well? Like, does it have like sewer and utility hookups?
Just raw land.
It's just totally raw land. Has it ever been perked?
And I know it's never been perked.
Okay, no worries. What I'll do is I'll do a little bit more diligence on it. I will give you a call back. I mean, you're open to hearing me out though, seeing if we can figure something out.
Well, I'm always willing to listen.
Is there a number in your mind that kind of like works best for you? So if I go back and I'm like, hey, I figure out that this is something that we're willing to buy, is there like a buzzer number for you?
There's no particular number, but I mean, I'm always looking to entertain. I'm not going to say no. I'm willing to entertain. So let's just see what you come up with.
Okay. Yeah, that's
sounds
totally
move
fair
forward.
with me. Would you be okay if I gave you a call like the same time tomorrow? That should give me plenty of time to kind of figure out what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. I will give you a call at the same time tomorrow. You can expect it from the same number. So I
Great.
will give you a ring then, Benji. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. You take care. Bye bye. So that's a situation, guys, where like the buyer or the seller is not as willing to give me the information on the phone. He's just like, hey, you go do your diligence. You come back to me. This is somebody, I mean, he's probably got 1,000 of these texts, but we're going to see if we can make something happen. I just have to find the APN. I'm a little underprepared on that one. I have to go in and find this land here to see what it's worth. But that's an appointment for me. If you had the APN readily available, you could book that. Excuse me, you could book that in PowerSell. But I can't even do that right now. I need that APN here. Okay, I have. That's why, guys, when I'm doing these text blasts out, I always put their personal address in the notes. So that way I can go into my software here. I can plug that in. I can basically work backwards there and figure out what the situation is of like, hey, where is that Yemisi plot? So let's see what I can make happen here. All right, let's. All right. All right, let's see what we can find here, guys. All right, I found it. Now let's see if this thing is worth a damn. Oh shit, that's pretty cool. That guy's from my hometown. From my hometown. Let's see if we can both make some money on this. That's so wicked. All right. Let's see what we can make happen here, guys. Let's see who owns this. Got our guy. Golly, he owns a shit load of property. Oh my gosh. Oh my lord. This could be something huge. I have a ton of people looking to buy here. It ain't going to be cheap, I'll tell you that much. I mean, it's a huge piece of land. Oh, no, I'm looking at the neighboring one. This is only 2 acres, so, oh well. Still, that's doable. Raw land. Out here, I literally know exactly where this is, too. So wicked, I know exactly where this is. Who else is out there grinding today, guys? Let me know. All right, we're going to put that one into the system here, into PowerCell. I'm going to get my team on that. And let's keep grinding, guys. All right. See you guys. And who wants to win that free book? I'm dead serious. I'm giving that out. It's going to be on Audible, so you got to give me, I think, your email address, and I'll get you guys that via Audible here. But let's see what we can make happen. I love this potential deal. I don't want to get too fixated on it. Remember the hopium, like just sitting there and like don't want to throw yourself down that tunnel. That seems like a freaking awesome deal. I'm going to plug that bad boy into PowerCell right now. Let's get that one booked in here. Boom, we're off, guys. That's so wicked that I know that guy, I think. So wicked. All right, let's keep it pushing. See what else we can make happen. Who wants to win that free book, guys? Put it in the chat if you want an opportunity to win it. Otherwise, we can roll it over tomorrow and we'll give it away to somebody tomorrow. If you want that free book, let me know. Keep it pushing. Put a $sign in the chat if you guys want to win the free book. Put a $sign in the chat, guys, if you want to win the free book. Let's keep it moving. All right, let's see who's... You just tried ringing you. No thanks. No, we want Yes, it's for sale. Won't take less than that. Thanks for asking. No. How'd you get my number? Who said I want to talk numbers? You called us. All right, here's what we're going to do right now. I do a call here.
Hey, this is Kim. I'm sorry I can't take your call right now. Just leave your name, number, and a brief message, and I'll call you as soon as I...
All right, I'm going to call her husband.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Call him back. See what we can do here.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, what's going on? This is just CJ. Actually, good buddies with Anthony. We were looking at potentially buying that property on Red Sky Trail. So,
Yes.
if you would
Hello?
just... Hello?
Hello? Yes.
How are you? This is just CJ. Am I speaking with David?
Yes.
How are you? Yeah, your wife told me to give you the call about the property.
Yeah. It's just been a little strange. You guys called yesterday, didn't leave a voicemail. Then you called today, don't leave a phone number.
Yeah.
Then you just called, didn't leave a voicemail. I'm like, oh, these guys going to leave a message or not? When you did leave one, you didn't leave a phone number. I'm like, how am I supposed to call you back? I don't have a phone number.
It doesn't have like the little feature. You just hit the return call button. Doesn't do that.
I did,
Oh.
and left a voicemail.
I don't know why I didn't get it. I use like a virtual call system. That's probably why.
Yeah, well, it keeps coming up as spam. We're not going to answer anything that says spam unless you leave a voicemail to let us know who's actually leaving the message, because there's too many spams.
Totally with you. I'm sorry. I'm glad that you let me know about that. This is what I use. This is the number that I use for work. The one that ends in 7427. So it links to my personal number. It's so I keep everything separate.
Spam. So we're not going to answer anything that says spam.
Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you letting me know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad I got a hold of you. I'm local to South Carolina. I'm not like super local to the area, but local enough. I was hoping to get a little bit more information about it, like what the utility hookup situation is, and what
It's
the water
got
situation is.
electric and water.
Okay. So everything is like, so there's a bunch of builds neighboring by, I'm guessing.
This is in a subdivision called the Cliffs at Glassy. Are you familiar with the Cliffs properties?
No, I'm not. I'm
You
looking
might
I'm
want
looking
to
it up simultaneously here.
look up the Cliffs,
Okay.
the Cliffs communities. Google that. And then there's 7 Cliffs communities, and then pull up Glassy Mountain.
Okay.
It's a gated golf community,
Okay.
3,500 acres. This is high-end, high-dollar lots.
Right.
I mean, there's some that are going for $5,000-$10,000 where people just want to get rid of them.
Right.
Where they're fed up with the bullshit and just want out.
Right.
I'm not to that point yet. I had this listed for sale by owner at $59,900. The listing has expired. Zillow, I just listed it on Zillow. That's how
Right.
I'm not going to pay a realtor to do something I can do myself.
Right.
We've had realtors and they were useless, so I just started doing Zillow for sale by owner, and now they'll only run it for like 60, 90 days, and the listing expires, and you have to relist, and you have to send a copy of your property taxes to show them that you're the actual owner, which I
Right.
mean, it's not a bad thing, I guess, but it's just a little bit of an inconvenience now to keep relisting it every 90 days when it used to just list indefinitely. But so it was listed on Zillow the last maybe 6 months ago. It expired, and we just haven't relisted it. But at $59,900, it's 1.63 acres. You probably see that.
Yep.
240 feet of road frontage. It's in a somewhat undeveloped area as far as homes. There are not that many homes in that particular area of the subdivision, so it's total privacy, seclusion. Now the HOAs are $2,000 a year.
Okay.
A year. There's a minimum build square footage of 2,800 square feet.
Understood. Okay.
If you're going to build on it, which I would assume you would want to build on it. And
golf membership?
That's about it.
Or no?
Well, there is a membership attached with it, but you won't get it for $60 with a membership.
Right.
I mean,
well, I'm saying, do we have to have the membership?
No. Oh, no, and you don't want one.
Okay.
You don't want a membership.
Okay.
We live in the subdivision. We live at Glassy.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we built here in 07, moved in 08. And the lot that we bought to build on did not have a golf membership. It had no membership
Understood.
available
Okay.
when we bought it. But we didn't really care about memberships, and we built this house to flip it. The plan was to come in here in 3 to 5 years, flip it, and move out of country. But we moved in 08. You know what happened in 2010,
Yep.
and we're still here. Now, in like 2015, we were playing around with putting the house on the market again, and we were being told by realtors, oh, you can't sell it without a membership. You can't sell it without a membership. So I started saying, well, how can I get a membership? And they said, well, there's lots available. You can buy a lot that has a membership available with it. So like a dumbass, I did, and bought that lot.
Right.
And but I got a hell of a deal. Look at tax records.
Right.
I'm sure you'll pull up tax records. You'll see that lot originally sold in 2007, I think it was, for $192,000.
Yep.
You see that?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
192.
Yeah. February 14th of 2006. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, 192,000. I got it for 22.5.
It's wicked. Yeah.
Because they wanted out from under it, because it's, especially with that membership, it's a liability. That's the problem. When you've got those memberships, a golf membership right now costs you $88,000.
Right.
Plus, you got to pay $1,500 a month.
Yep.
Now, there is a second membership that's like, they call it a wellness, I think, where you can play tennis and go to the wellness center or the swimming pool, that kind of thing. It's minus golf. You go to the clubhouse, but that's like, I think about $50,000 now. I forget where it's at. And that one's like $800 and some a month. And so we had a membership in 2015 when we bought it. We, picked up a membership. At the time, they had a cheaper membership that you could get for, how much was it, Kim? 20? $20,000 we paid for that membership. So we bought a membership in 2015 for 20. That was the cheapest one, and you could
Okay.
when the next buyer came in, they had the option of picking up that membership, or you could upgrade to the whatever membership you wanted to go up to, and at that time there were 3 memberships, and I just wanted to buy the cheapest one to put the least amount of money into it to have it. So when we sold this house, that property would come with the house. You would actually get 2 pieces of property.
Understood.
That was the only way
Okay.
that you would get. That's the only way you would get the house with a membership. Now, at the time, golf memberships were 50,000. Now they're up to 88,
Gotcha.
and they keep jacking it up, and jacking it up, and jacking it up. So in reality, you don't want a membership, to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean, people are pretty much getting turned it in memberships, and that's why you'll see
Right.
lots for $5 and $10 grand. And the other thing with the $5 and $10 grand lots is you got to be careful. Unless you go look at them, they're on the side of a mountain. I mean, we live on Glassy Mountain, so
Yep.
it's a mountain, and a lot of these lots are at like a 30-degree angle, and so this lot is not. This lot is very buildable, very
Okay.
flat. You got a great build pad on it. Again, with 240 feet of road frontage, you have somewhat of a view to the west,
Yep.
but there are a lot of trees. You have a winter view, but you don't have a summer view because when the trees bud out, you're not going to be able to see a lot. And it's, you have these tremendous sunsets to the west, and it's in an area of the subdivision called Sunset Point because it's got pretty much the best view of those sunsets.
So my biggest question is that, so if we buy this, or do we have to have the membership?
No, you don't want one.
Okay.
That's why I'm selling it without one.
Gotcha.
And here's the thing where, I had it listed at 59.9. I could work a little bit on that number, especially not getting a real estate agent involved.
Yep.
If it's just between you and I, and so I could come off that sum. But here's the thing where I can't do too much because I'm getting rid of that membership now. I'm getting rid of the ability to have a membership.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because what happened in 2015, we got the membership. In 2018, we were so disgusted with the services that we were receiving from the membership that we just turned it in 2018. We said we don't even want this anymore.
Right.
It was a joke. And so you really, I think the memberships now, unless you're just a golf fanatic and you got to have golf and you got to play golf, and even the golfers are beginning to kind of rebel because it's getting, like I say, 88 grand and then 1,500 a month, and
Just makes no sense.
Even they're like going, what? I'm sorry.
I was saying it just makes no sense, right?
Yeah, it's getting a little crazy. And if somebody, and say you buy it and you build and you're trying to sell the house, and they are like, well, you don't have a golf membership. You don't have a golf membership. Well, you can drive 5 miles, well, maybe 7 miles down the road to a little town called Gowensville, and
Yep.
there's a golf course down there called the Links at Tryon, and you can join that for like a fifth of the price and go play golf. You got to drive 2 miles to the golf course here. You drive 3 more and play for a fifth of the price.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
so
with
if you
you.
got to have the golf, then you can. There's other options to play golf. But if you bought it, you really don't want a membership. And like I said, but seeing that we built and had a hard time, like I said in the past, with the realtors, which they'll use any excuse to, why they can't sell the house. But they said, the membership. So now if I give this lot up and the membership goes away with it, which we turned it in, it's inactive right now. But if we sold that lot, we would totally burn that bridge of us ever being able to obtain a membership. So it would kind of paint me into a corner when we go to sell in the future, where if somebody comes up and says, "Well, we wanted a membership," I had that,
I
that
understand
option.
now.
But
The
you
only
see what I'm
way to
saying?
get the membership was through the land, and you would have sold when you guys decide to move from your house. It would have been a package deal so that they get the membership.
Right.
But wouldn't
Yeah,
that
but
make it
now
a little
me-
bit more difficult to sell anyway?
Well, hell, who wouldn't want to buy a house and get an extra lot with it?
Oh,
And
you
they
would
could
just
turn
have
around and
thrown
build
them in together.
Yeah, you were gonna get 2 lots. You were gonna get this house is 4,000 square feet heated.
Right.
It's it's 6,400 total. And you'd get that. This house sits on 5.3 acres, and then you get another 1.63 acre lot for free.
Yeah.
And we still couldn't sell it.
What the
Still
hell?
couldn't sell it.
You
So,
couldn't
yeah.
sell.
So it
You
was
couldn't
like,
sell the main home.
no.
Oh.
No, and we hit it down to 89. We hit it at 89,999 is where we'd come down to. And I finally just said, forget it. I'm done. I'll just take it off the market. And when the market turns around, we'll do something different. But then we ran into the situation where my wife's mother would it be 90?
Yep.
She just turned 90. And she's, lives on her own, drives, has her own apartment. But, she's 90. And so we thought, we probably could have sold back in, 22, 23. The market was really strong. We probably could have sold then. But we thought, we can't. There's no one here. If we leave, she's on her own. And we can't run off and leave her at 90 years old on her own, especially moving out of country. So we thought, okay, we'll, back off, wait 4 or 5 years, let things take its natural course, and then we'll make a run at trying to sell again. Now, when we make that run, we'll be making it without the option of having a membership when we sell this lot. So again, it kind of has,
it's got to make sense
value.
both ways. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So for me to give it up, I just can't give it away when I give it up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with
I can't
you.
rock bottom it at like $10,000, like some of these lots are doing. Now, again, I had it at 59.9. I can work with you some on that price, but I don't have a whole lot of wiggle room. I'll tell you right now, 50 would be rock bottom.
Okay.
And I think we text your partner the other day, 50K.
Yep.
Said, you were like, is it for sale? Yes, at 50. And I had it, like I say, you can look on the listings. I'm not sure if it shows it on.
So that's what would make sense for you guys, 50?
50, yeah. Because
Okay.
like I say, I put 42 in it 11 years ago.
Right.
And so by the time you add in all the other costs I've got, I'm in the hole even at 50. I might, I put 42.5 in it with the membership. Now you're not getting a membership, but you were talking about activity on the mountain. Right now there's a builder. They're building like crazy. I mean, it's called Veranda Homes, and they're building one right around the corner from me right now. There were 2 more over on a road called Eagle Rock. They sold one for $1.3 million. There's another one about to be moved into. That's at least $1 million home. And this one up here around the corner, they built it the bare minimum. It's like 2,900 square feet. That one will probably sell for, I don't know, right around $1 million. Now, builders up here, just to give you a heads up, I think they're getting about $350 a square foot. If you go with one of the Cliffs preferred builders,
Right.
which I assume you're going to build it, you guys build.
Yeah.
You build, or you got to sub out the build. You build.
We would partner up with a builder on it.
Okay, so some of these builders are getting up like 450, 500 square foot. So if you go with one of the Cliffs preferred builders, they steer you towards because they're getting a cut, I'm sure. And they just sold a house up on the golf course. They got $695 a square foot.
Oh.
Well, they didn't. It wasn't new construction. It
Right.
had already been. They were like the third owners, and they sold it. And a guy named Damian Hall, who's with one of the like Berkshire Hathaway or one of those big realty companies, Sotheby's, or whoever, one of the big ones. They got $695 for that thing.
And you said what's the minimum square footage? Has to be
2,800.
Wow. Okay.
Which here that's small in this subdivision.
Right.
There's houses that are like 20,000 square feet. It's nothing to have a house that's 6, 7, 8,000 square feet. So
Okay.
28 is kind of on the small end. Like I said, we're at 4,000.
So you guys were never planning on building on this lot at all. It was just
Oh no,
solely.
no, we just bought it just for the membership. That was the
Golly.
only reason. It's like $42,000 into a membership that was a piece of crap that I, after 3 years, was so disgusted with it. I just turned my membership back in.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Well, so you don't really want to get involved with the
Yeah.
memberships, to be honest with you.
I'm on board. So why don't I do this? You gave me pretty much everything that I'm thinking about. All the other questions I'd have. Sewer. So
Okay,
this is one.
Well, let me
Go ahead.
Let me. So you got electrical there, and you've got water, like I said. Now you're going to have to put in a septic tank. We're on a solid granite mountain.
Gotcha. Okay.
You go down about 12, 15 feet. You're going to hit solid rock. Now you might be able to get a septic tank in, but I'm sorry, you'd have to because there's no sewer lines.
Gotcha. I
So that's
understand.
you got to go septic. So, but you got water and electric already there.
Okay. All right. I guess my next question is, does it perk then if it needs septic? When you bought it, did they do a test?
I don't see how it couldn't have perked. I'm like the second owner. We're on a mountain. It's going to perk.
Right.
That water's going to run away. And this lot, like I said, as you drive down Red Sky Trail and you come up to where the lot's at on the right-hand side, you drive up into this like little. They paved the road up up onto the lot. This black. You can drive up on it, maybe far enough to park your vehicle up in there. And on that corner, it's on the very. You get out there and you walk out, and there's a nice flat built pad right there for you.
Okay.
Now, as you walk to the west on the lot, it starts grading off. So if you wanted something with a walkout basement, it's perfect. But if you don't,
Gotcha.
you kind of get the best of both worlds there. Now here's the other thing you got to be careful of. You're on a mountain, so anywhere that you've got a lot that's on a grade, that grade was created by rock being pushed up. The neighbor across, I can see his house at night through the trees. He's on the main road coming into subdivision. He was a builder. His name is. They're living in, and he's built 4 or 5 houses on the mountain. When he went to build the house he's living in, they hit rock.
Gotcha.
He spent $30 grand breaking rock.
I follow you. Okay.
So you got to be careful. So when you see these $5,000 and $10,000 lots, like I say, they're probably on a 30-degree angle, and you're going to hit rock. When it's flat, the chances of you hitting rock are going to be a lot less. Now, when we built, we put a basement in, and they did hit some rock, but we got lucky. It was only about $1,500. Did up pretty easy, but that's an obstacle that you got to be careful when you see these crazy prices on some of these lots up here. It's the old adage, you get what you pay for. Well, you're going to pay one way or the other. You might get the lot cheap, but then you're going to run into all these unexpected building costs. With our lot, like I said, being flat, you're not going to have that issue. And another nice feature is on the back side of the lot is a creek. And they've got a nature trail that they maintain that runs parallel to the creek. Now, that creek, I don't know why they stopped the property line, but to property line so you know where your property stops. But if you look on the plat, it stops, I don't know the distance, but it's probably 20, 30 yards maybe from the creek.
Okay.
So you do have a water feature back on the back side of it. It's not on your property, but you can enjoy it. And like I said, there's a nature trail that runs parallel. There's 3 different nature trails inside this subdivision. We've got, you've got the golf course, you got your clubhouse, you've got your wellness center, you've got 2 churches, we've got our own water treatment plant, we've got our own fire department. It's like a little mini city minus the groceries.
Yeah.
You do have the clubhouse if you want to pay ridiculous prices and go and have one of those memberships, but that's the only way you'd be allowed to go in there to eat. But other than not having a chain grocery store inside the subdivision, it's pretty much self-contained.
Okay.
It's a mini city, basically.
Cool.
But pull up some data on the cliffs, especially the cliffs at Glassy.
I'm like looking at the topography right now and everything. Why don't I do this? Probably. I mean,
you need to come look at it.
I was gonna suggest I'll run the numbers on it to see if I can make it work. I'm glad I got all the information that you just shared with me. That kind of makes it way more evident to me of what I might be able to do. I can run the numbers this evening, give you a call tomorrow, and see maybe when a good time where we could actually go out and see it would be.
Where are you at?
I'm in Charleston, but it's only 4 hours
3.5
away.
hours, about 3.5.
Yeah.
We've driven down there several times. Yeah, I don't work. I do a little side thing where I pet sit for people on the mountain, but just to keep me busy. But I'm pretty much, other than that, I'm pretty much open. So
Okay, cool.
But I mean, if you want to just come up and look once you do your thing, if you're still interested, then like I say, just we can set something up and I can take you up there and we can walk it. And I think you'll be impressed, especially like I said, the fact that it's, and I ran that into the listing that I had on Zillow, that a rare find on a mountain, being flat, and it affords ease of construction, because again that's a big thing up here, because like I said, even my lot is 5.5 acres, but out of the 5.5, you can only use probably a quarter acre.
Right.
I mean, the build pad was very limited. I mean, but my lot that I'm on, because it is on a 35-degree angle, and we had to put a retaining wall in the backyard to create a backyard, or either just walk out the back door and roll down a hill. It gives us, a great view to the south. But again, I got 5.3 acres that I can't do shit with.
Yeah.
I got 5 acres that I can't do shit with. And the other kicker is you don't want anything over 5 acres, because I found out when I got my first tax bill, I had two different charges, 2 different millages on there, and I was called the tax office and I said, what the hell's going on? Why have I got two? Do you know that deal? How anything over 5 acres becomes agricultural?
That's I figured so.
Yeah, I'm like, what? And they said, oh, you got it's agricultural. I said, ma'am. They said, are you growing crops or something? I go, no. I said, ma'am, I'm at the Cliffs of Glassy. I don't think I'm growing crops up here. She goes, oh, but anything, and then she explains anything. So you don't want to buy. I learned that, and thank God I've only got 0.3 over 5, because at one time I was looking at, hell, I wanted 15, 20 acres. Damn, I'm glad I didn't do that deal. I would have been getting screwed on my tax bill, but because I was going to build a nice home on it. But you don't want to buy a big ass lot up here. You want to keep it 2-3 acres, which there's, like I said, there's 3,500 acres in this subdivision alone.
Yep. And
I think it's something like 1,200 lots, so it averages about 3 acres a lot. Now you got some that are 8, 10 acres, and like mine 1 point something, but on average you're about 3 acres. So even if it were ever completely developed out, you'd still have elbow room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right now there's something like, I think about 500 houses that have been built on the 1,200 lots. Now you take that into account. You take 500 away from the 1,200, leaves you 700 lots available. But how many are actually decent build lots? Probably half of those. So you're looking at maybe 300 lots. So every time a house goes up, the lots that are available become more valuable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there eventually not going to be any lots left to build on. And you got people flooding this area from the north trying to get out of that mess.
I'm with you 100%. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll run the numbers on this just to make sure that I should be able to do what I want to do with it, and I'll shoot you a text tomorrow, and we'll try to coordinate. I'll shoot a text around the same time, like 6 o'clock is usually when I'm done for the day. So I'll shoot you a text around then, kind of tell you what my thoughts are, and then we can potentially arrange something for the weekend. If I'm still interested.
If you text that 8815 number, that's of course my wife. If you want to. Get ready to go back. Probably. I try to be honest with them, because karma will bite you in the ass.
Right.
So try to give people as much information as possible, because they didn't do that for me when I bought, so I had to learn the hard way.
Well, I appreciate it sincerely. So I'll shoot you a text tomorrow, probably around 5 o'clock or so, letting you know my thoughts. And if I'm good to go, we'll see if I can
don't
schedule
forget to,
something maybe this weekend or even next, and I'll come out there.
okay. Don't forget, don't text because that's
They're not the
you'd be better off.
landline. Text
Yeah, the
your
land.
wife.
No, don't text my wife because, like I say, she'll either be sleeping or at work or in and out.
Gotcha.
It would be better to leave
Leave a
message
voicemail.
on this because this is a landline I'm talking on.
Understood. Okay.
This is
Perfect.
627. So it would be better to leave it here at this number.
Will do. That's perfect.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you.
Likewise. I
Hopefully-
appreciate all your time.
hope-
And again, my name is
Okay,
CJ.
CJ. Okay, David, and hopefully we can make a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right. You
bye.
take care. Bye-bye. It's a long one. That was a long one. All right, guys, we're going to go right into it here. We're going to pick our winner for the book. Everybody that dropped their name in is going to get chosen here. And we're just going to go right into it. We're going to waste no time here. Picking one of those people at random now, and we're going to put it in the chat. And I will reach out to me. Cosmo. Let's go. The cat. Let's go. All right, I'm going to send you that book. You have a choice, whichever book that you want, either one of the two that we discussed. And I will get that over to you. Just shoot me your email. I should be able to send it over to you pretty easily. Send me which of the two that you want. It will be via Audible, and I'll get that over to you. All right, guys. You guys take care. I will see you tomorrow, 5:30 sharp. See you guys tomorrow.